we are talking of finding X, we're not talking about your ex that, that person you liked before that you no longer like and you don't want to see again. We're not talking about Ima, we're not talking about Amaka and all the other names, Precious that can disappoint and all of that. Some people will tell you that in our house, that is how we are.
That's how we behave.
Yes, that's how we behave. It's not possible that your own family trait is not having sense. If you don't think that you can be better, you may never become better. I'm not a motivational speaker that will tell you to aspire to Maguire the Perspire. I will tell you the truth. If there is something you have been trying and it's not working, maybe it's time to switch and find answers to the questions. Why is this not working? Yes, it's not about perfection, it's about transition from level 1 to 2 to 3 until you get to a point where you are functioning at an optimum level.
And sometimes these transitions can be, gradual.
Yes. Go ask about so people with a craze for where you understand, stuff like that. There is no label about you that cannot be changed, except things like your gender and that stuff one like you can't change it.
Since we launched this platform, MomentumX, a lot of people have been asking, what is the X in MomentumX? And that is exactly what we want to attempt to answer in this episode. If you are a returning viewer, you already know me. Or if you are new, I'm Boniface Wealth and I'm your host. And on this episode, I'm together with my friend, Dr. Amali Joshua. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Amali Joshua is a medical doctor, a creative writer, an author. He recently released a book, Worse Than Fire. And I'll give him opportunity at the end of this video to tell us about the book and how to grab a copy. But at this moment, we are diving deep into the topic of discussion. What is X? Let's find the X. Thank you and welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
So, when we started this brand, you were the one that actually suggested the X in the MomentumX. So what is that X?
Okay, thank you very much. MomentumX, right? For those that went through formal education, one of the questions that you keep seeing in mathematics, every time the topic, no matter the topic, algebra, trigonometry, geometry, the question always found a way to come back to find X. So the X in MomentumX could actually mean a lot of things, but at the same time it could mean just one thing. And for us, we got that letter X from the word next. So MomentumX is just basically saying creating the moments for your next level. So the X is gotten from the word next. So it's talking about the next version of you, the next big thing about you, the next big idea, your next big move. Just everything that has to do with the next version of you, the next level version of you.
Wow. The next version of you, the next you. That is why we have the slogan, creating the moment for your next level. So there is a next version of you. So are you saying that there is who we are now, there is more to it, more to who we are?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody there is a version of you inside of you that is different from the you that you currently are. So it's just like we have, iPhone versions, iPhone X, iPhone XR. It's, it's a series and it keeps evolving over time. The you that you currently are is not the finished version. You are not yet a complete version of yourself. There is a better version of you. There is a next version of you that is stronger than your fears. There's this version of you that is better than your indiscipline. There's a version of you that is, better than your background. There's a version of you that is a better story than your history. There's a version of you that is beyond your current limitations. There's a version of you that is more financially stable than where you currently are. So yes, there's a version of you inside of you that you may just need to take time to find it. That's why I find X, basically.
Wow. So there is the next version of you.
Yes, and sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
When we're talking about, this topic could be triggering for some people. When we're talking of finding X, we're not talking about your ex that, that person you liked before that you no longer like and you don't want to see again. Yeah. We're not talking about Ima, we're not talking about Amaka and all the other names, Precious that can disappoint and all of that. So the exactly. X we're talking about, please, is strictly the mathematical X, and we're relating it to the next version of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The X is not your X. It is the next version of you. So how do people actually find this X?
Okay. Let's try to make it more practical, right? Since we're here. Yeah. I'll break it down into 3. Okay. Your next big idea, your next big action, and then your next extra move that you make. So let's start from the ideas, right? Your ideas, you could find your X in the next big idea that comes to your mind. Ideas are just like arrows. They keep coming to our mind over and over. Those moments when we reach out to you and be like, I got this mad idea. This crazy idea. Yeah. Yes. That could be where you find X in the next big idea. That idea that stops you from sleeping. That idea that you're restless until you believe that this is something that could make a difference for me. Secondly, it could be in your next big move, right? Because ideas are just like seeds. If you put them in your pocket, it won't grow. If you don't take action on your ideas, it will just die a natural death. Yeah. And your ideas are not unique to you. That thing you're thinking, somebody else is thinking it. The difference is that they find their X in their next big action and they work on their ideas and produce something, right? And then thirdly, it could be in your next extra effort that you put, because everybody could have the same idea, everybody could take the same big action, but not everybody is willing to go the extra mile, stay awake extra hours, read extra books, do extra work when it's boring, do extra things that other people are not willing to go. That could be where you find your X.
Wow. Thank you so much. So we are saying the X that we are trying to find is in the next or the extra big thing that you are not willing to do, that most people are not willing to do. Yeah. But if you are ready and you are willing and you try as much as possible to push yourself to that next big thing, you could land on your next big move.
Yes, and the thing is, this is not basically a discovery per se, because most times, but if you check it, you see that sometimes we really know what to do. We know that thing we need to do to move to the next level in our lives. Most times. Sometimes you actually can be confused and not know what to do. Yeah. But there are times that you actually know what to do. Like if you're a student now, you know that you are supposed to start reading as the semester started, right?
Exactly.
But you just don't do it. Do you get it? So finding X is not even about a new discovery or something. It's just that decision to start taking action on the things you already know, or start knowing things that you didn't know before, and then moving from ideation to action, basically, and then putting the extra effort. That's basically what finding the X means.
So we could say MomentumX is Momentum Next.
Yes, basically, Momentum Next. Momentum next level, Momentum next big idea, Momentum next big action. Yeah, Momentum next big extra effort. Yes.
Thank you so much. So, why do people stop finding their X?
Yeah, I would start from labels, right? Sometimes people just label themselves. Like we said, there is a version of you inside of you. Not everybody believes that there is a better version of them inside themselves. So they label themselves with identities that is not theirs, or where they are currently, and they hold that identity like a badge, and they walk around with it. Some people rely on their zodiac signs. They tell you that, oh, I am Capricorn, I am Cancer. That is how we are. Yes. We are usually not morning people. I'm not an early riser. Some people will tell you that in our house, that is how we are.
Yeah, that's how we behave.
Yes, that's how we behave. It's not possible that your own family trait is not having sense. Do you get it?
It's not possible.
Yes, there is a version of you that can start having sense. Even if it is like that, other person in your family is like that.
Yes.
Now, let me put it this way. you cannot rely on these labels and believe that it's in your blood, that is how you are. If you don't think that you can be better, you may never become better. Exactly. You don't even see the possibility. So you don't even try to become better. You talk to some people about maybe having anger issues that could improve if they work on it. It could help them have better social interactions that will move them to the next level, better work interactions that will help them cope with work environments. But here's something like, I'm from so-so place. Do you know, have you heard of so-so place? You know those people from that place, they usually have bad temper. I'm from so-so place.
We have bad temper. We
sometimes
don't take nonsense.
You hear them say, go ask about so-so people. We they craze for where you understand, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you realize that that person has not seen the possibility of becoming better. So no matter how you try to push him to the next level, he remains at that point where he is. So people sometimes, and like I said earlier, we know what to do sometimes, we just don't want to do it because of convenience. Stepping out of your comfort zone is hard. You know, one time I stepped out of my comfort zone, I nearly died. I ran back. You get? So it's not easy, really. We're not talking about ease and convenience here. So some people just don't do it because they see their limitations, they accept it, label themselves with it, and sit with it, and don't try to make any move.
So when one believes in such, have such belief that this is what we are, this is how we behave, this is how it works, this kind of people might never step into their next.
Yeah, you may never move to the next level. Exactly.
Wow. So if you're out there and you have such belief, I believe it's time you restructure your mind, open your mind so that you have a better social interaction, especially people with anger, people with, such, whatever it is. Those kind of beliefs keep you in a place. They keep you at a particular state of mind or level that you don't advance. And the X is meant to advance you. You want to say something?
Yeah. I was thinking if I could give like a subtitle for this conversation, right? I would have labeled it like the feasibility of personal development. The feasibility or the possibility of personal development. Because you have to see the possibility, right? Before you can believe that you can take that action. And then the feasibility of, yes.
So you have to
believe that you can take that action before you take that action. And sometimes you have to come back to yourself and believe that, you see, when we're in school, when they throw the question out, find X, you realize that everybody is busy finding their own X. Right? Exactly. Trying to get their final answer. If you are waiting for other people and blaming people for not being able to find the answer to your own find X, right? You may never even reach that point. I've met sometimes, you meet people that the fault is everybody except themselves. Yeah. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not meeting up with this and that? And they start blaming climate change, they blame COVID, blame their co-workers, blame every other thing except themselves. If you don't realize that you are responsible for finding X by yourself, for yourself, and you keep pushing the blames to others, other people may get their own, and it will now look like they are not helping you come out of what you are. But if you are blaming them, you are not going to see. Somebody said that if you blame, you could become lame. Like, to blame is to stay lame. Stuff like that. You believe that somebody is supposed to work for you, somebody is supposed to help you work, and you don't take action.
We spoke about something like this with Zach in the previous episode where we talk about quit blame.
Yes.
Your current level is 100% your responsibility.
Yeah.
If you keep blaming someone, you might never, become responsible for your next level. But how can someone now know their qualities?
Okay. It starts from retrospection. You have to sit with yourself sometimes. You know that thing when you're talking to yourself and it's like you're having a board meeting. Your mind and yourself, you yourself and I, me, myself and I, stuff like that. You have to sit with yourself sometimes and find out what part of the equation am I? Am I stuck at the ideation level? Am I confused about what to do? Is it that I don't know what to do? And at that point, you need to seek knowledge. You need to start looking for knowledge. You need to start finding answers to the things you don't know, because what you don't know is bigger than you. I think everybody believes that. Yeah, what you don't know is bigger than you.
Actually.
And so if you need to find out, am I stuck at the ideation level? If you realize that it's not that I'm stuck at the ideation level, I know the things I need to do. Then you move to the next one. Am I stuck at the action level? Am I not taking action? Right? Is it that I know what to do and I'm not doing them? Then you decide that, okay, from today I'll start taking action. One of my friends did something, she called it 30 days of risk taking. So she outlined 30 things that she normally wouldn't do on a random day, like walking into an organization and asking them to employ her. That's very risky. But she put it on one day that, okay, today the risk I'm taking is that I am walking into this organization to ask them to employ me. And she did a whole lot of different risky things for the 30 days, right? Then thirdly, you need to find out, is it that I am taking action? Am I taking action but not putting extra effort? I'm just doing what every other person is doing. I close the same time as everybody. I wake up the same time as everyone. Nothing extra, nothing special. You may never move to the next level if you keep doing the same average things that you have been doing or you have been used to. So you have to find, it's like an equation. Where am I stuck? Am I stuck at the ideation level? Am I stuck at the action level? Am I stuck at the extra mile level, basically?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where are you stuck? Where are you stuck? Just find out that position where you are right now and what is stopping you, and get out of that place. That is your ticket to the next level. That is your ticket to the next level.
Yes, so, and let me add this.
Yeah.
When we're talking about these things, some people look at it as though you are speaking from a place of perfection. You're trying to call them to a place of perfection. But it's not really that. Sometimes, it's not as if you have everything figured out, but the fact that you are putting the effort, you are asking the questions, you're climbing the ladder, you are making progress, you are transiting. You sometimes will not even realize how developed you have become until you interact with places you have interacted before and you cross them easily compared to before. For example, you could be reading every night and decide to add 1 more hour every night and read and read and read. You may not feel more knowledgeable until you come to a junction, maybe an exam, maybe a quiz or a spontaneous conversation, and that knowledge keeps popping up and realize that, I think I'm a better version of myself now. Or let's say you've been working on yourself, maybe your temper, your self-control and all of that. And you have been working on it and you don't even know you're becoming better until somebody else triggers you. And you realize that you did not react the way you did not break bottle. Yes, you didn't trick anybody knife. You didn't scatter area. You realize that you're a calmer version of yourself. And sometimes people's opinions, people's feedback about you could tell that, okay, I am becoming better. Some people, is it, are you so person? Is this so person? Normal you that we know. By now, you don't scatter this place, stuff like that. So it's not about perfection. It's about transition, right?
Transition.
Yes, it's not about perfection. It's about transition from level 1 to 2 to 3 until you get to a point where you are functioning at an optimum level.
And sometimes these transitions can be, gradual.
Yes.
Yeah, and it could take time.
It takes time. Yeah. It's a process. It's sometimes, I believe it's a lifelong process. It doesn't end. You keep developing yourself. Just like iPhone, nobody knows where they'll stop. I don't know. I believe there will be iPhone 40, 40XX, 40X Max, 40X Pro, and it's like that with us too. We would keep developing ourselves. There is no perfect ideal person. Everybody is a work in progress. It's just that some people have advanced more to certain levels than we already have.
Yeah. So in case someone is out there and you are thinking, I need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to gradually move from one step to another of improving yourself and becoming a better version of yourself. So if you could leave us with one word about X, what would that be?
Well, one word. I would basically just say that, guy, you said you did try, right? Everybody is trying their best. Life as we know it is not easy, or is not getting easier, right? This is just to anybody that is watching and is feeling overwhelmed and all of that. First of all, you need to recognize that you are trying. You don't try. For you to have reached this point in life, you are alive to this point, you are trying, you are doing your best, right? The best that you can at this time.
Yeah.
Second thing I would want to leave with us is that you can be better. You are not the worst version of yourself, and there is no label about you that cannot be changed. Except things like your gender and that one like you can't change it. And if you're short to a point, just give up. After some years, you cannot tall past that one again, right? I'm a doctor, believe me, there's a point your growth,
your vertical
growth stops.
You can't grow out that.
Yes, and I'm not a motivational speaker that will tell you to aspire to Maguire the Perspire. I will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
If there is something you have been trying and it's not working, maybe it's time to switch and find answers to the questions. Why is this not working?
Yeah.
Instead of persisting to insist and consist. All those kind of rhymes that motivational speakers give. Finding X does not mean insisting on a particular equation.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was Albert Einstein that said, insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. If I'll be honest with you, sometimes you need to know when to quit, know when to ask the right questions, know when to transition from one point to the other. Leave your mind open for change at any point. Believe strongly that there is something I can always do to become a better version of myself. Wow. I can always find X. I can always find next.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm very excited to have you.
It's my pleasure.
I believe everybody watching out there, you are already, impacted by so much that Doctor has already said. Before we close down this session, I just want you to take a brief moment and tell us about Worse Than Fire, the book you just published. Oh,
great. Thank you for this opportunity. So, like he said earlier, my name is Dr. Amali Joshua. I'm a Christian medical doctor, a creative writer, and a spoken word artist. At this time last year, Maiduguri, Borno State experienced a very devastating flood event, and it affected people in ways we cannot describe. So myself and my colleague, Shalom Soji Oderinde, we took our time to capture as many stories as we can, to tell the different stories of people, unwritten stories, unheard stories, different angles of the flood, the impact of this flood, and why it should not happen again. So the title is Worse Than Fire, because this city has experienced different levels of insurgency. There was a recent fire outbreak at the main market, but we didn't know that something worse than that fire was coming. So the novel is everything about the flood and why it should never happen again. I would leave a link at the description on how you can get one, and I hope that you enjoy it. I would love to see your feedback and your review on the novel. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We'll see you on the next Momentum.
Everything now is
at the next level.
Next season.
Alright, remember, this is MomentumX, creating the moment for your next level. So we see you on the next level. Thank you.